But yeah. What else? What else? Also caught up with One Piece. I mean, I read the manga, so I don't have to worry about spoilers or anything like that, or being too far behind. I just like to see how they animate the section, especially because Wano is being done really beautifully. I just really enjoy the direction it goes animation-wise. Of course, pacing-wise, it's still horrendous, but that's why they will implement a 1-year hiatus for the anime, which is we've been asking that. I've been asking this since Dressrosa. I thought since Dressrosa, like they should definitely have a hiatus here or there, just to let Oda go ahead, and then they can just do the arcs afterwards, and cover a lot more in a shorter period of time, and focus also on the animation a bit more. But animation now is really good. It's just, of course, they have to take it extremely slow. All right, let's get started with the reading now, shall we? We're reading on the 1470s today, and the very first one already has piqued my interest title-wise. Telepathic Spider, because that sounds honestly baller. I love the sound of that. I know a lot of people are arachnophobic, and a lot of people just in general don't like spiders. I don't mind spiders. I do get creeped out if there's a giant spider and if it can jump, because that's it's freaky, especially if it jumps towards you. It's freaky, and that's that I won't argue against that. But I'm not the type of person who sees like a spider in my room and just goes like, I have to kill it. I just see it like, oh hey, take care of the mosquitoes occasionally flying here, please. And if I'm like, oh no, there's no mosquito here, but there's a spider in my room, I'll just carry it outside. That's no problem. But I would also be I will honestly say, now that I said this, it will be very, very freaky to be like, oh, there's a spider in my room. Let me just get my cup and a paper, and then I'm like about to like trap it, and it's like, and it just goes like, you better fucking not, and you're like, what am I supposed to do now? You know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to handle any of that? But here we go. Ooh, that is a high rating to start off with. Okay, good small. I hope that Spagel from yesterday. I hope they show up. I actually don't know what gender they are. I didn't ask. But I do hope they show up. They did follow me on here, but as they said at the end of the stream, it's like, hey, I'm drunk as hell, so it's not guaranteed that I will come back here. So I was like, okay. You give me the gift of pleasure, and then you tell me you won't return for a second round. But yeah, so let's just go reading without him for now. Them, excuse me. And hopefully they will show up. Hopefully. But there's no guarantee. Neutralized, formerly safe. Oh, you were safe, little buddy. Look at that, SCP-1470 in its enclosure. Everyone who's arachnophobic right now, don't look. Because look at that. What's that white part? The remains of SCP-1470 have been laid to rest in a small plastic case within the podium section of its terrarium. See below. The terrarium is to remain stoked with salticides and the offspring of SCP-1470 and observed. Pending the end of quarantine period, these offspring may be introduced into the wild if no anomalous behavior is detected. Oh, my phone just got smacked hard. All personnel have been cleared of quarantine after exposure to SCP-1470 with no ill effects. Previous containment procedures ended May 7, 2008. SCP-1470 is housed in a soundproof terrarium measuring 0.75 meters by 2 meters, 0.60 meters tall. The terrarium includes a small source of fresh running water and includes flora common to the Australian state of Queensland. Of course, it's an Australian spider that that is telepathic as well. Honestly, that's not even an anomaly. I'm pretty sure majority of the Australian spiders can do that just normally. They just don't want to do it because that would expose them. God damn, it's 9 PM, guys. You don't have to dash through my neighborhood that much. The northeastern corner of the terrarium has been notified to allow for communication with SCP-1470. This location is referred to as the podium. SCP-1470 appreciates regular social contact and is scheduled for interviews 3 times daily, allowing for a regular nocturnal sleep schedule. If personnel wish to conduct an unscheduled interview with SCP-1470 for any reason, they may do so by entering the chamber and vocalizing their intent to speak with SCP-1470, which will enter the podium or respond as it is able. It is not necessary to speak verbally when communicating with SCP-1470, but vocalizing of words help to convey meaning more clearly than thinking of abstract concepts and allows for easier transcription of communication. SCP-1470 is not capable of understanding the full range of human thought, so it is highly recommended that researchers only use basic concepts and short statements. SCP-1470 terrarium should be... How dare you, computer? Terrarium should be stocked with a monitored population of mundane salticides, web-building spiders, and their own prey insects to serve as prey for SCP-1470. The best way to distinguish SCP-1470 from the other salticides within the terrarium is to ask it to wave its arm. That is adorable. SCP-1470, can you just please wave? And you see like just some tiny spider in this little terrarium just going like. That's adorable. I love that. Personnel working with SCP-1470 must report for psychological screening on a weekly basis for a period no less than a year after exposure. SCP-1470 was a male fringe-jumping spider, Portia fimbriata, recovered from Queensland, Australia. Its body measures 6.7 millimeters. That should be fucking tiny. So that's an enhanced picture right there. In life, SCP-1470 was sapient and capable of telepathic communication with other sapient beings at a range of approximately 9 meters. Although SCP-1470 was otherwise not notably different from other members of its species in behavioral physiology. I'm gonna be sad that the fact that it's dead, aren't I? It's gonna be like this. It's gonna be like the cutest, most well-mannered spider that you ever talk to, and then it's like, well, it's dead now. it's gonna do that, right? It's gonna make me feel a connection to the spider, and it's like, well, it passed. It's gonna be like the frog from Shrek, the frog king. The Queensland population of P. fimbriata has already been observed to be more intelligent than other spiders in its ability to solve problems and employ unique hunting tactics to capture its prey, which primarily consists of other spiders, both of the web-spinning varieties and other members of the Salticidae family. How do you say that? I assume salt and eyesight. Pronunciation, please. Oh, okay, well, we gotta watch the video for. Why is it 1 minute long? Just make it 10 seconds. Better question: why does it take forever to load?
Salticidae or Salticidae.
Well, which one is it? Salticidae or Salticidae? Salticidae's nuts. Family to which they belong. Apart from this, its ability to communicate with research personnel, SCP-1470 displayed no behavior that was defined from what is typical of the Queensland variant of P. fimbriata. However, due to its anomalous ability to communicate, it is not recommended that any conclusion about the species be drawn based on the experiences of SCP-1470. Communication. SCP-1470 method of telepathic broadcast appears to assign terms on a best fit basis within the minds which receive its communication. When SCP-1470 referred to parts of its own body which do not directly correspond to human anatomy, the terms are adjusted based on content. For example, while leg is a straightforward translation, reference to SCP-1470's palp were typically perceived as arm by researchers. Refer to the following statement received after an unsuccessful attempt to induce SCP-1470 to a mate. I'm gonna give it the most I went at the bloody hell and waving my arms around to let her know what's what, but she wasn't having none of it. She smacked her lips at me and gave me a good drumming with her arms and legs. I know it was because of that hideous red stripe you asked me to put on my arse. It really makes a fellow stand out in a way he's not supposed to, you know. Those savages might not notify it much, but you can't fool a proper lady. So anyway, I had to tie a bungee and make a jump for it, before sending him back to me tent to nurse me pride. I love this guy. I love this guy. I know he's dead, but I would have protected this guy, this little dude, this little spider, with all my might. I would have protected this little fella, this gentleman of a spider. I would have been like, I do humbly apologize. I made that honestly fair mistake to you, sire. I will make sure to learn your ways and also to be taught by you yourself. Please forgive me. That's why I would, yeah. As is typical of statements made by SCP-1470, it was perceived in a way that could almost be spoken by another human. It was also typical to perceive these statements in a strong regional dialect. Also, I don't know how to do that in an Australian accent. I went at a bloody harlot waving me arms around to let her know what's what, but she wasn't having none of it. No, that's not Australian at all. Ah, shit. Note, however, that harlot is used as a derogatory term and does not imply prostitution, a concept alien to P. Fimpiati. Lips refers to the chelicerae, where spider fangs are stored. Arms refers to the polyps bordering the mouth, which are larger in males and used to display purposes. In this case, they were used to make the female aware of SCP-147's presence and lack of intent to harm her. Ars refers to the abdomen, and the red stripe that was painted there at one time is to distinguish SCP-1470 from the other spiders. Tie a bungee refers to laying down a safety line of silk before making a jump off of the surface the spiders were located on, and sailing is a straightforward description of a drifting down on a loose strand of silk while airborne. Likewise, tent refers to SCP-1470, a structure used purely for shelter. The web, excuse me. I skipped that one word. The red stripe was removed from SCP-1470 afterwards, and a less mature female was introduced to the terrarium. The following excerpt was taken from the subsequent interview. How do I do an Australian accent, man? I used to be able to do that. I'm not going to do it. I'm just gonna give him like the deep, like still like the hair. Hey, not so loud, mate. You wake the little Sheila. Your interaction with her seemed to get better. How's she doing? She was pretty scared when she got tossed out here by those big predators. At least I think she was. She can't talk to me like we can. None of them ever can. But she shows me she cares in her own way. She asked me back to her place, and we're going to stay there until she's ready. Ready for what? You know, can't be a gentleman if we talk about it so plainly, you know, not the way you guys do. Anyway, I guess I should say thank you. It's not what I wanted, but I will do. It will do. You told me you wanted a mate. I told you I wanted a wife. A mate is a friend. We're mates, right? You're fun to talk to, but I wanted someone I could look in the eyes while I talk to them. We never found anyone else that can talk like you do. Well, it's what separates us from the savages, right? You mean your prey species? Right. You're different from them, because you can't talk like I do. I would never eat something that could talk. She can't talk, but I can tell she likes me. She just needs to grow up some. It will be very soon. She'll probably catch more savages than me, too. We'll have good children, if that big old harlot keeps her distance. We removed her from the area. I hope you didn't hurt her. Note the cohabitation, the same web between male and a sexually immature female is not uncommon in P. fimpiata. The female's maturity was reached within the next 2 weeks, and SCP-1470 left the web after copulating. As is normal for the species, the female did not devour or kill SCP-1470. Okay. Except the final interview. Hey, is anyone out there? Hello, I'm here. We're just doing some work on your enclosure. What? The podium? It's enclosed, but I don't see you in here. I'm outside the podium. The podium's nothing outside. You daft bint. How come I can't get outside it? Do you see me waving my arm at you? unintelligible, wordless dread would be the most apt description of what I felt from SCP-147-0, which fled the podium shortly thereafter in a manner that suggested it was trying to avoid a predator. P. Frimpiata has excellent vision, although at a very short range. SCP-147-0 had reacted to us visually before, but never in such a manner suggested it realized we were the being speaking with it, Dr. Westington. I will not hurt you. We like talking with you and we want you to live. I never realized you were so big. How could anything be so big? SCP-147-0 refused to communicate for 2 hours. I remained at the podium, attempting to coax him back into interaction. I'm sorry. I just thought we were like each other, but you just wanted to stay hidden because I'm kind of the king of the jungle around here. At least I thought it was. Maybe I should have. We tried hard not to alarm you. What are you? I don't have any answers to that which will make sense to you, but I understand you were scared. I've been scared too by things that are as big to me as I am to you. If that hurts to think about, I understand that too. The children won't talk to me, but the ones that lived are doing alright. I guess that isn't important to something like you though. It would be my job to watch them. We were hoping they could talk like you do. You and me both. I'm pretty tired and itchy now. I want to change my coat, but I can't. Sorry for getting all weird on you earlier. I just want you to know that it was nice to talk to someone while it lasted. Note from Dr. Westington. SCP-147-0 lived for a total of 3 months in Foundation custody before perishing of natural causes. He was not fully mature at the time of containment, so his total lifespan was estimated to be approximately 4 months. Yeah, okay, so he lived exactly the duration of a spider. Of the type of spider here. Aww. So all he wanted was somebody who can speak be... It's kind of like the man that wasn't. He wanted somebody who is able to communicate with him and just be aware that he's the only one. And then he found somebody who can communicate like he does, just to find out that the beings that can communicate like him are the size of like a skyscraper for him, basically. So of course, naturally, he's gonna be freaked out. He's like, "Whoa, wait, this is not what I thought. This is not what I thought it would be." That's a nice one. It's a tragic one because like it tried to find beings that look like him, like itself, but can also talk like itself. And the only thing that could talk like itself are beings that let's be honest, scared him. He wanted a wife, somebody who can also talk, but yeah, no. He would never find somebody like that, and even his children couldn't talk at the end. That's a tragic story. I'm sorry, little spider. Well, rest in peace. Rest in peace.